Hey, I got another one of those videos that's pretty much code word for, yeah, this is how you get a girlfriend, but I might title it something else. Actually, no, I won't.
A better you starts today.
Attention Adelaide, Wollongong and Katoomba, I'm coming with my live, raunchiest show ever to your towns. Get your tickets, links below. So, anyway, here's another one for all the desperate virgins out there. I'm sorry about your struggle in life, I really am. I empathise with you, and can I just get to my main point here? Everything I just said before is a lie, by the way. I don't, but I don't know. I think it's just called being like an early teenager. Why doesn't anyone want to put my willy in there? Is it because I've got no money or social skills? It just happens. But I can tell you a couple of things that will definitely help you get laid, right? But it's also, this is the whole thing that I want everybody to get in their heads, yeah? Getting a girlfriend and social intelligence, it's just, when you've been in a relationship for a long time, it just feels really weird talking about game. But but you got to learn it at some point. You have to. And there's two ways of doing it. You either trial by fire, embarrass yourself a lot in a nightclub, or you be born Spanish and then you just get to 100,000 women in your life. But if you're not Spanish, maybe Portuguese. I'm not sure if they've got the same thing going on, but everybody else, here is what you do. Here's what you do. And this just helps in general social interactions, if you will. Look at me putting it in inverted commas, just so you know that this is academic. Here's the thing that you want to do. You want to take some advice from improv and consultants. These are the greatest shit talkers of all time, because I always get this one question constantly of like, how do I talk to people? Which I think is just universal now. Even when it's just like, I don't know someone since high school, how do I start a conversation with them? I'll tell you what, it's very, very simple once you know this one technique. Now, what makes a good improv artist? Why are consultants so good at the ebb and flow of, hey, is that a new haircut? No? Well, good anyway. Yeah. Anyway, let's sign a deal worth $80 billion. The reason that they are able to do all that stuff is because they have something you don't have, which is this one teeny piece of knowledge that I swear that they must have learned from improv, which is that in every scenario ever, when you're facing anything, there is always, and I want you to write this down, hundreds of bids. What is a bid? A bid is something that you normally learn in relationships. So isn't this amazing? We're going all throughout your life map, doing a real speed run. I'm Mario Karting it around your life, being like ding, 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 ding. So you do need to know this as well, even for when you are in a relationship, which is that every time you ignore bids is someone like when your wife comes up to you and goes like, hi, and a very good indicator that someone is about to get to divorce is if the guy goes, as you can probably tell. So what's happening is, in the average minute of interaction, there is 7 bids that are occurring. In an average minute, there's 7 to 14, I think it is actually, 7 to 14 bids for attention from the other person in every human interaction ever. And good people, highly emotionally and socially intelligent, I've got to stop putting everything, not everything deserves quotation marks. I don't know, I think it's just because I'm from Friendly Geordies. I am from Friendly Geordies. Here at Friendly Geordies Corporation, you can't be on screen unless you do this as many times as the normal human being bids for attention. 7 to 14 times a minute. They are, when they're looking for bids, so it could be something as simple as turning to your direction, your general direction. It could also just be, like staring at someone. That is a bid. These are all bids for attention. And most of a relationship is, I see that bid. That is most of the relationship. Okay, so this is the key component, the breakdown, the atomization of what a human relationship is. It's being able to pay attention to someone giving you these offers for attention. This is why it's always extremely awkward when you are meeting someone for the first time. What's happening there? What is happening there? Usually the mind is rushing around being like, what do I say? What do I... These are the bad things to say. Really highly socially intelligent people just walk into any situation ever and they see these subconscious bids. So it could be somebody as just like as a very simple, basic example. Some woman playing with a pin and then you say, oh, what's that pin mean? You know? Something like that. You walk in and it's a new party or something like that. And, you know, you see them looking around and then you say, like, are you looking for drinks? These are the little breakdowns that builds trust. Because even if there's two-pronged approach to this, yeah? First off, this is why people seem kind of like they're psychic after a while, because they get very good at reading these bids. So they see what the body language is telling them. And then people go, how do you know? And it's because your body is doing the thing that you're thinking about all the time. So obviously, yes. It's pretty obvious what you are thinking about. Not to me. I'm a complete automaton autismo. But to the average human being that isn't a complete alien trying to figure out how to be a human being, which is why they started a self-help channel in the first place. To the average person, they are able to psychically read these things pretty well. Not really psychically. Do I have to explain that? I don't think I do. I think you know what I meant. And I think you're just being a passive-aggressive little bitch because you're angry that you haven't signed up to Jordan Shanks here for 3 extra videos a week. But we'll get back to that in a second. So what is happening on stage, for instance, when you're doing improvisation? Exact same thing. These people are just getting very good at reading what offer the other person has. Yeah? So obviously the rule that you constantly hear all the time, what am I going to say? Write it in the comments right now. Yes, sir. Have you ever heard that before? Especially improv students. Have you ever heard somebody before making fun of the fact that it's said a lot of the time? So I should probably shut my mouth, shouldn't I? Yep, I got told by myself. Wow, that's the worst tone. That is, I think, more important than the yes and thing. I honestly think this is more of an important rule than that, which is looking around at the room that is in front of you and being able to decipher what people's intentions are in the scene. I'm doing it, and I would stop. All right, I'm putting my hands behind my back. That's the end of it. Sorry if you're listening to this on audio podcast. You can't even see what I'm alluding to. But that is the core element of it. So when everybody always says, like, what do I say? And how do I get the girl's attention? The problem with all of these things, these pre-planned... No, I've done it again! I'm taking my hands out! Oh my God, I can't stop. The problem with these things is when you are going in with routines, the routine might work for a while, but then it gets stale, like doing a stand-up show. You have to keep adding fresh elements to it. Keeping the golden salad fresh, yeah? Because if it's just the same old tomatoes all the time, it comes off as just like you're doing a routine. And that's exactly what happens when like you hit on chicks. Or when you're going into any other scenario and you're like, here's some like little icebreakers. No, the best thing honestly to learn is just a bit of improv. That's going to help out a lot. And why is that? Because when you are getting into a loop of just like, this is intuitive and spontaneous, people can sense when something is spontaneous. People can also sense when something is canned. I don't know how, they just do. Probably has something to do with the bids that we're talking about now. So, here's your homework. You are going to start noticing bids. That's what you're looking for. In all interactions, what you're looking for is bids from the other person. Here's what I want to talk about. It could even be a verbal bid. I'm going to be talking about this. And then you go down that path with them. You see them moving in some direction. What are they moving towards? You ask about that. This is what is the fundamental building block to becoming somebody who is extremely socially intelligent. And as we've said 1,000 times on this channel, there really is nothing that you should be building up more. Nothing you should be building up more is your skills at interacting with other people. That is one of those like skeleton key, or is that the word? Master keys that unlocks all the other doors in life. 85% of your success is always going to be as a result of how you're dealing with other people. Think about it. Also think about signing up to Jordan Shanks so I can give you 3 extra little tidbits of advice that I learned from books. And then I filter out all the crap. and leave you with the Reader's Digest version. That's what I am. I am the modern Reader's Digest. You better subscribe to it because it was a damn good magazine when it was around. But I'm that for self-help. So it's nothing about like, oh, the pygmy hippo is actually smaller than a normal hippo. Did you know that? Yes! I could have guessed. I know what pygmy means. I'm just saying to you all of the points that you should be learning about self-help. And everybody that signs up to it says, best Patreon that you could possibly get. It really is. It's just like, it is a steal to begin with. And you're just getting a free life coach that's getting primo little things. Is that a good sell? I hope so.